What's up, everybody? Good evening and welcome to the Quack Show on this Thursday night. Tonight, we are talking all about kicking bad habits. All right, we are talking about, you got your smoke right here. Little bit, it's an e-smoke, but we got it. We got your drink right here. Some other bad habits you might have. Some cookies.
That's me.
Everybody loves cookies, right? We got some bad habits there. We're going to be quacking all about it tonight. Meet your panel. We've got Hallie. We've got Stephanie in the Syracuse jersey or hoodie right there. And we've got me, the one who's been addicted to almost everything that there is. And now I think I'm just addicted to food. But we'll talk about that later. Hallie, before we go any further, how can the viewers get a hold of us?
Okay, so this is the first night. I'm having to click on so many things. This is the first night that I'm like running all the things Stephanie. So I just posted, we're live on, I posted our live link on our Facebook page. So if you're watching, go to our Facebook page. Make sure you like us on Facebook, on Pinterest, on Instagram, on Twitter. If you have a question, comment, concern, allegation, or emotional outburst, send it to thequackshow@gmail.com and come chat with us.
Come chat with us. We love it when everybody chats with us. We are talking all about addictions tonight. We're talking about bad habits, really. Before we go any further, though, I want to know, how was everyone's week? Stephanie, are you still dealing with sick stuff in your house? Take that as a yes.
Actually, yes. Riley had croup for the last 4 days, and Brinley, I got home from work an hour and a half early because tonight is the night before the wifer's birthday, and I was going to surprise her and be like, boom, guess who came home early? And instead, I got a phone call that said Brinley has hand, foot, and mouth disease.
Okay, so what is hand, foot, and mouth disease? Because I've heard that I'm probably going to get it, but what is it?
Okay. I am parent B, so I can't tell you what Google says because I was just like, great, another thing. Let's just move on and do whatever I have to do. But essentially, she's got a blister and some kind of like rash on her hand and then right underneath of her mouth. So I expect this is something that is disgusting. And once I actually find out what it is, I will not want to touch her.
I suspect this is something that is.
Yes, it is highly contagious with children. It's blisters on their hands, their feet, and around or inside their mouth. It causes fevers. It's super painful. Like especially if the sores are in their mouth. Yeah, it's terrible.
Maybe that's why she wouldn't go to sleep for the last 3 nights.
Which is another story in itself, right?
Oh, not sleeping for an entire week. We're at a whole entire week now.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Someone put up a meme the other day and it made me laugh, and I tagged Nicole in it because it was a friend of ours who said, forget sleeping like a baby. I'd go for sleeping like my husband. And I had to tag, I said, or your wife. And I tagged Nicole in it because it's no joke. Like, these kids don't sleep. Taya's been teething and she's got an entire row coming in, and she has been absolutely miserable, like literally crying from dawn till dusk. And, Tylenol doesn't touch it. Nothing touches it. And yeah, poor Nicole. I mean, at least I sleep in the back bedroom. And yes, we're very happy. It's because I snore. But
it's nobody's business how you run your house.
Yeah, I know. But, some people think, well, that's just weird that you guys don't sleep together. I didn't say we didn't have sex. I just said we don't sleep together in the same bed. But she thinks that we're going to change that when we get into our new house. But I don't know if our relationship can sustain that.
She's got to get you one of those little gas masks looking there.
Well, we went on holiday a couple weeks ago to my dad's 80th birthday party, and we stayed in a hotel, and we had 2 double beds in there, and we just thought we'd test it out for the night. She was yelling all night, Carol, Carol, Carol. And I was yelling all night like, fuck, you keep waking me up. You keep waking me up. So I don't know if it's going to work, but we're still dreamers, and, we'll probably try it once or twice. Hallie, what's going on in your world?
Pregnancy it had a little bit of a craziness this week. So on my next video, that'll go up next week, I'll tell you all about it. So wait for the 10-week video update, because that was crazy and some stuff went down. Everybody's fine. but some stuff went down.
Yeah.
And we had my daughter's birthday party. She is now
Happy birthday,
7.
Casey!
Yay! And I'm getting ready to go on holiday next weekend, or vacation. I'm not from Canada. I don't know why I said that. I'm going on vacation because I'm from America.
Is holiday a Canadian thing?
Holiday is a European thing, yeah.
European thing.
Holiday.
We call that
break
time.
Yeah, it's vacation. It's a vacation.
It's a vacation. Well, wherever you're going and whatever you're doing, I hope that you have fun. And is this the first time that you and the new missus are heading off together, or no?
Well, we did California when I went to go get pregnant. We went to California, but that was kind of, I mean, we did get to, like, we went to Santa Monica Pier. We went to Venice Beach. I mean, we did kind of have the traveling, but there was also the purpose of the transfer. So this is like our first real go away vacation.
Yeah. So basically what you're saying is that she wasn't allowed to touch you on that vacation. So this will be the first sexation.
Well, I don't even know what that is anymore.
Yeah, right? We're
Sorry
married.
if you're watching, Mom.
Yeah, because that's who watches this, all of our moms. My mom would literally like die if she ever saw this show, just so that the viewers know. Please do not send my mom the link to this show. We are all quacking about kicking bad habits today, as I alluded to with my Cookie Monster and my bottle of booze and my cigarettes and maybe a little. We were talking smoking, drinking, bad food, and anything else that is taking away from you living a healthy life, a healthy and a quality life, really, whatever quality means to you. So let's start with the panel. I want to go down. That's never mind.
I am married.
Tell me more.
That is not a bad habit.
I'm not. Oh,
that is all good. I want to go down the panel, and I want to know.
You'll be sharing a house with Carol next week.
I'm going to be awfully tired. I just want to know, have any of you guys kicked any bad habits? Let's start with you, Stephanie.
Yes.
Okay, tell us about it. What bad habits have you kicked? We're not going to get to the ones you haven't kicked yet, but what ones have you kicked?
Well, I mean, weight is such a up and down thing throughout my whole life.
Hundo.
And I have polycystic ovarian syndrome. We've talked about it in other shows.
Yeah.
So in many ways, like, my body sort of works against me because of just how I gain weight and where and how fast. And like, if I don't eat good for say 2.5 weeks, 5 pounds, bam, just like that.
Yeah.
And it stays. And then if I go on a workout regime, it takes me like, I don't know, 2 months to drop 10 pounds. So I think that's a little bit average, but I'm like in this like constant state of like, I've tackled it, I've got it. And then I'm like, well, I could just have a donut.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to portion my cereal. And it's usually in conjunction with emotions. So I don't know.
I love
Every time
to
I
eat
think
my
I have a
feelings.
handle on the weight situation, by the way, at this point, I'm a little bit of an expert.
Yeah.
Just
I
saying.
think that food is like, in my opinion, and I have kicked a few habits. I quit smoking 8 years ago. I was a smoker since elementary school, believe it or not. I quit smoking cigarettes 8 years ago. I quit drinking 15 years ago, and I was an avid drinker from about grade 7 on, so 12, 13 on. And I quit drinking when I was 26. I have been addicted to different forms of drugs over the years, and have quit those. And I was a pothead for the last 20 years of my life, and I quit that 2.5 months ago. So I think that I have like a proven ability to, like, when I decide to do something, to do it. Food, it's well, because you still have to do it. You still have to eat. Were you gonna say
exactly? Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what Oprah says. Like, I'm a huge Oprah fan. I love me some Oprah. And she said, food addiction is one of the hardest ones because you can't just stop eating. Like, you can't just be like, all right, that's it. I'm not, you can say I'm not smoking anymore, but you can't be like, I'm not eating anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one grape turns into a strawberry, turns into strawberry Special K, turns into a cookie. It's a slippery slope.
Yeah, a strawberry muffin. I know.
Well, it's also based on like the emotional curve. It all kind of just depends.
Yeah.
So I've kicked the habit multiple times, but I've also come back to it multiple times.
Yep.
So that's why I was like, yeah, I have. But then.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I think that it's true addict form. Like for me, food is my comfort. Food is my happiness. Food is social. Food
is celebratory. Food is social. Food is dating. Food is family. Food is
logic, because I'm always like, well, I walk through the streets of Philadelphia for work and I see the homeless people. I'm like, if I don't eat food, I mean, it's just sucks for them.
It's almost like slapping the homeless in the face. Is that what you're saying? Like,
no, it's essentially thinking, how fortunate am I? Why not eat? And here's my thing too. Okay, everybody in the world wants more money. Everybody in the world wants a bigger house. Why don't you want a bigger girl?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm really confused because everybody's vying to be the sexiest, thinnest thing out there. I am vying to be the sexiest, chunkiest thing out there.
There you go.
And
there you go.
It's okay with embracing my addiction to do that. It's all good.
Well, I mean, as everybody knows, there's lots of men that like BBWs. I don't know if it works the same for women. I'm sure it does. I often accuse.
It does for my wife, actually.
Yeah, I've accused Nicole of being a chubby chaser because she loves to feel my chubs. Like she's like, oh yeah, and like rubbing her hands, and I'm just like, get out of here. I'm not talking about anything even sexual, like just like my stomach. And I'm like, it's so creepy and weird. Stop.
Is she overcompensating?
No, because she'll just come up out of nowhere and or try to put her feet under my tummy and stuff. And it's just creepy and weird.
Okay, my wife does that, but completely because she's an icebox.
Yeah. No, Nicole is a little heater, not an icebox at all. What about you, Hallie? What have you quit in your lifetime?
Well, food, I'm also on the food train, but that's what it is. I used to smoke. I smoked cigarettes I did. I've gone off and on, but so we were talking before the show, my biological dad was a drug addict. And so I've always been very terrified of addiction, that I would become super addicted really easily. But I feel like I'm actually the exact opposite. Other than food, like I could smoke a pack of cigarettes and then never smoke again. Like I don't have that come down. For me, it was more a social drinking thing.
Yeah.
I was a nail biter though. I was a terrible nail biter. It wasn't.
And that is a bad habit. It doesn't have to be drugs or alcohol. I mean,
exactly. And it wasn't until I got braces that I physically could not bite my nails, and I still do from time to time, like when I get really stressed out.
I see people where nail biting is definitely a bad habit. Like they're bloody stumps at the end of their fingers. It's that's not good.
I think it's an oral fixation thing though, because my daughter's starting to do it too.
Is she?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, Riley's. So I have little tiny yellow, little tiny baby nails. She has nothing, and she's 4.
Was she a thumb sucker? Like, cause she always wanted something in her mouth, or no?
No, but Riley has definite classic food addiction because here's a perfect example. I do birthday week for my wife. So Monday was day 3.
Yeah.
And we did what was called snack attack, where we went and we got a whole bunch of treats.
Yeah.
Just like random candies or whatever. And so she opened it up, right? We opened it at 7:00 in the morning. She asked me about having a piece of mommy's candy every effing hour the entire day. And I was like, I can't say yes, because she's so fixated on it that she would play an activity and turn right around like a psycho and be like, can I have a piece of candy now?
Yeah.
Can I have a piece of mommy snack attack now? Yeah. I'm like, she literally she's the kid that's eating breakfast and is talking about what she's having for lunch. And then she'll do the same thing towards dinner. Not kidding. And every day she gets a snack. This is the worst part. Every day she gets a snack at 10 and at 3. As soon as she's done breakfast, every day she goes, is it 10 o'clock yet? When is it 10 o'clock yet? How long do I have till 10 o'clock yet? And if you tell her it's 9:15 because she's understanding time now, she'll be like, how much longer? 40 minutes? How much longer? She repeats what you're saying. And it's she's super obsessed with her snack. And then when she's eating it, this is Kylie. While she's eating it, she's like,
That's what I look like when I eat seafood. It's inappropriate. I have to be turned off.
That's really what she's eating, her granola bar. Okay.
Wow. Now, and you're sure, obviously, if you gave her extra eggs at breakfast, would she hold longer, or should just no matter what she has, no matter what she does?
Carol, when you meet her, you will go food for food with this kid, and she will eat you on the food.
She'll beat me?
And then she'll tell you she's still hungry. If you're still eating, she's smarmy, and she comes up, she's like, hey, mama.
I love it. Wow.
It's funny because, I don't know, 15 years ago, my ex was teaching this little theater class.
Yeah.
And she had all these little kids. And there was a little kid in the class, and she was just before going to kindergarten. And you would show up, and I would sit in the back and watch, and she'd be like, oh, I'm hungry. What we got to eat? day. This kid would come in. They could not focus on what she was doing. All she cared about was food. So if they got pizza, she'd be like, I want to see where she is now. Because she's a teenager.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine she's the thin one.
Maybe she'll prove you wrong. So when I was researching for this show, I was looking at some different stats and stuff, and some believe that a habit can be broken in 21 days. There's some diets out there that talk about 21 days and some different things that talk about 21 days. And, you know, I want to make sure that people understand that this is not always true. It depends on the person and it depends on the addiction, I think. In reality, a habit can be broken really anywhere from 2 weeks. A lot of times people, when they were smoking, and I quit smoking a couple times successfully, and I say that because that's how can you quit a couple times successfully? But the first time I quit for 3 years, and then I had a cigarette, and then the second time I quit, I've been done for 8 years now. But and I always knew if I could get to that 2-week point where I was actually over the actual burning in my lungs and that kind of stuff, symptom of quitting smoking, that I would be okay. And other people can take up to 6 months of, like, especially when we're talking about diet and different things like that, getting off sugar, getting off carbs. So what do you guys think is a standard practice as far as how long it takes to quit something?
I don't know exactly how. I mean, I would say for me, probably for me, smoking was more, like I said, like a drink. You know, I go out, and it was more my routine. It was, you know, smoking on the way to work, or taking a break at work and smoking, or when you're out drinking with your friends, smoking. It was like a social thing. Yeah, it was a habit. It wasn't. Yeah. I rarely craved that nicotine. So I think for me, that's why it was easier to quit. But it definitely took a solid week or two before I was like, okay, I'm over it. Because we'd go out drinking and I'd be like, oh, but okay.
So even if you're having drinks now, you don't feel like having a cigarette? I mean, obviously you're pregnant right now. I'm not saying right now, but in general, do you ever feel like having a cigarette?
It took probably a solid 2 to 3 months for me to get past that when I was drinking to be like, no, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Steph? Other than the eating, is there anything were you ever a smoker or anything like that?
I've been addicted to crazy hot bitches.
But now you're married to one, so that's a craving that's never gonna go away, right?
I married like the hottest chick ever, so for me, I'm good.
Yeah, you guys do take.
You love yourself a beautiful disaster.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Perfectly imperfect woman.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
not really, because just like Hallie said, like I guess because my focus has always been food, and it's always been like socially acceptable, and it's always been like, I don't know. I never had the problem. Like if my friends were doing drugs or trying different drugs, I was just like, that's not my thing. Like, I'm totally down with you doing your thing. You know, it's all good, but.
So you've never been a nail biter or like a pin clicker. I'm trying to think of any like bad, annoying habit. Oh, pin clickers are the worst.
A Dutch ovener.
The worst.
I mean, I am a Dutch ovener.
But I'm not trying to quit. I love it.
I'm a shower ovener where, like, I'll do it and then knowing someone's going to get a shower.
Oh. Talk about, like, dirtying them up while they're trying to get clean. So the time to break a habit, according to a study that I read on the internet, so you can take it or leave it. Yeah, depends on 3 factors, but I do think that this is probably true. Number 1, the first is the availability of an alternative habit. So it's much easier to start doing something new than to stop doing something without a replacement behavior. For example,
sounds like every time I get out of a relationship.
Right, right. Ta-da-ta! And that is actually a bad habit as well.
I wrote that on a napkin in Times Square.
I did.
I
love it.
If you're watching this show and you don't know what I'm talking about, check out our Facebook page and click on the videos.
Yeah, exactly. That's amazing. They talked about the fact that nicotine gum and these inhalers, these nicotine, well, what I was actually just using right here, tend to help people a little bit more because it gives you something to do with your hands and your mouth than, say, a nicotine patch or cold turkey. Hallie, yes.
Something to do with your hands and
You
mouth.
need something else to do with your mouth, okay? You know, and we were talking about that. I think that that's really true. And that's one of the problems with food is there's nothing else that you can do. I mean, you can chew gum maybe, but that gets old fast. The second one is the strength of the motivation to change. So like the old saying that you can't quit anything unless you want to. Outside pressures will only motivate you for so long. And, you know, we all know this. We've all been there with different things. You've quit eating or gone on a diet because you're single now and you want to look good for the next one, right, Hallie? Or to catch the next one, to trick them, trick them. And then you get
And then you just let yourself go. Actually, in my current relationship, yep, we're calling it a relationship now, right? I've actually lost 25 pounds since knowing her.
Nice.
Kick boxes. She'll kick your ass if you don't.
Yeah,
That's true.
fair
It's
enough.
very true.
Fair enough.
Which is crazy considering you're pregnant and you just said that sentence too.
Right?
I'm not pregnant in my face. That's what I get told. I don't know.
Well,
You heard it here first, straight people. Lesbian pregnant people lose weight.
there you go. It's God's will.
Well, lose weight during pregnancy, get gay.
Yeah, exactly. If you,
Boom.
yeah, I'm gonna get pregnant then. Screw this. I want to lose some weight. And the third biggest motivator or factor in quitting a bad habit is the mental and physical ability to break the habit. So some long-time habits are literally entrenched at the neural level. So they are difficult to overcome. I mean, I don't know if anybody watches Dr. Phil, but I love me some Dr. Phil, and he'll talk about, you know, if you've been an alcoholic for a long time or if you've been a drug addict for a long time, it literally changes the complexity of your brain or the way that your brain fires. So they're really, really difficult to overcome without some outside help. It really comes down to the person having sufficient enough reason to change. Do you agree with that, Steph? Is the reason that you and I can't successfully stay on a diet, is it because we really don't give a fuck? Or is it, you know what I mean? Like, is there not sufficient enough reason for us to change? We're not scared enough of a heart attack. We've already got hot wives, so we don't have to worry about impressing anybody. What do you think?
Honestly, I think, and this sounds a little bit conceited, I think that we just figured out the actual meaning of what life is. Like, because of the fact that this is something that's been plaguing us and the way that we look at ourselves and our bodies, we don't make that a thing on a daily basis because there's a level of acceptance over time. So we focus on other areas for that physicality. So we work on our humor, we work on our heart, we work on, you know, focusing on the needs of our partner. We compensate in different ways. So yeah, it's just easy. It's just better to be chunky because you got to figure out more to your life than just what you look like. It's all the ones that, like, I know that focus on their bodies and focus on people telling them they're beautiful all the time. And like, they hear it over and over and over again, that when they don't hear it anymore, they go, oh my God, am I getting fat? Oh my God, do I look okay? Oh my God, am I going to be accepted? I'm like, whoa, cowgirl, who cares? Like, cellulite is actually beautiful. Like, relax. Your brows, who cares if they're a little crazy?
Yeah.
Right? But if you act like a douchebag, I really care.
Yeah, 100%. And one of the other things that I've noticed over the years is you will not hear a fat person worry about what they look like as much as you hear a skinny person. Like
we'll make comedy about it, but not in a serious way.
Right? And I mean,
that's what we know.
Because in some ways, and I'm not saying this about all people, but in some ways, in my experience, I think that that's all they have is the fact that they look good, or it's so, that can be an addiction as well when all you care about is what you look like. Like, you know, there's other things that are more important in life.
Yep.
You know, addictions are so strong that an estimated 25% of people that have suffered heart attacks, stroke, or other disease as a result of bad health habits, not just weight, but smoking, different things. will still not change their lifestyle.
Yeah.
You guys know people that have gone through health traumas and still not done anything to change? Hallie?
This is an ironic thing to talk about because tomorrow my father-in-law is having quadruple bypass surgery. And I mean, his sister passed away from her heart exploding. His mother had her heart condition.
Yeah.
And the topic of conversation this whole week was my wife and her sister getting stress tests and monitoring their heart health. And it's like, I think it's either genetic or it's not. And I feel like you could be the healthiest person in the world running 600 miles. And if your heart is just not meant to be good, it's going to blow out on you. And you could be 700 pounds and not move an inch and you're going to last to 95, right? So it's such a problematic way to approach that. I don't like that question because, I mean, there's so many factors that go into whether or not you're healthy. Yeah. It's actually historically more important for you to maintain the same weight than go up and down, up and down, up and down because it takes too much stress on your body parts.
Yeah. What were you going to say?
But I was coming at it more from the addiction, not necessarily the food and the heart health. But my bio dad died because of drug and alcohol abuse. My stepdad, my mom was a real winner when it came to the addicts.
Hence why she went to women. No,
right, she did. My stepdad is former stepdad is currently dying of alcoholism. Like his kidneys, liver is shutting down. His dad died of alcoholism. His brother just died of alcoholism. Like, everybody in his family is hardcore alcoholics. Nobody's stopping. Yeah. They're all just taking it to the grave. So, I mean, for them, they see it. They know that it's happening. They have to know it's bad for you, but it is either too deep in their brain or they don't give a rat's to change.
I think it's probably too deep. I mean, people that have been addicted to things for 20, 30, 40 years, I mean, that's all you know, really. Your body is so kind of addicted to it, right?
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you ladies, and I use that term loosely, what are some of the things that you ladies have found successful in overcoming addictions like food, alcohol, drugs, gambling, or any other unhealthy habit? For example, when I quit drinking, I kept a 6-pack of Budweiser in the fridge for the first full year that I quit drinking, because as we've talked about with food today, I knew that I could never completely seclude myself from alcohol. I had to quit because I wanted to, not because it wasn't available. Same thing with quitting smoking. I kept a pack of cigarettes in the glove box of my car for a year, afterwards, give or take, to train myself to not do it. Now, we've talked about this. That's the problem with food is I can't not eat for a year and be like, I'm done. But those are some of the things that have worked for me with other addictions. What
you want to go on a hunger strike? I support you.
Yeah, nobody wants to be around me without some food, okay? Mama's a bear. Mama's a bear. If you want to see hangry, it's going to take more than a Snickers to get me back to...
I think you and me could probably go toe-to-toe. Casey's always giving me a hard time. She's like, Mama, are you hangry? Do we need to feed you? I was like, what?
Yes, I am.
So what are some of the things that helped you quit smoking? Was it just mind over matter, or do you have any tricks for the viewers? Anything that you could think of?
I mean, for me, honestly,
did they work for you?
No, for me, I had a reason. The first time I quit smoking was because I was going to be getting pregnant with my daughter, and I knew that the time frame was, and I was like, all right, I need to clean out my system. I need to detox my system. You cannot smoke. Let me phrase that. You should not smoke and be pregnant. So it was just that kind of a situation. And I was a bit of a social smoker before my surrogacy. That's kind of when I picked it back up again. And again, I have a reason that I have to quit, and that's going to happen. I wish that I could have that situation when it comes to eating less or eating better. But I mean, it's more just being held accountable and having a reason. That's what, for me, I'm like, okay, I can't, I physically can't. So you just have to get over it.
Yeah. 100%. What about you, Steph? What are some of when you were really on board there and doing really well, what were some of the things that were working for you and some of the tricks of the trade that were helping you?
So the best way for me to combat it is always to not be around it.
Yeah.
And I'm really big on making choices. So I commit to choice. If I say I'm not going to do it, and I will go to the end of the earth to make sure that the people around me and the things around me and everything that is encompassing that experience is supporting that goal.
Yeah.
But you only can sustain that for so long.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm always going to be the one that's going to struggle with what's the final way to get in control of it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like it weighs on being incredibly important one week to something else being important. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I've accepted this as sort of a journey for me, and that when I was first diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome, I did not hear at all what he said when he said, you're just always going to be slightly overweight. It's part of your condition.
Yeah.
You know, when you get, if you want to be healthy, great. He's like, but don't obsess over your body because you're just not going to be the ideal, woman. And I'm like, what is the ideal woman? Like that struck a chord with me because I'm like, the ideal woman is just being happy.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
If I'm feeling sad and I'm binge eating my emotions, that's the time I know that I have to make the choice to surround myself with habits and people and things that support that. And if I'm not, if I'm being fine and happy-go-lucky and being myself, then I'll let myself just be in the moment and just do whatever I need to do.
Yeah.
Well, and I know for me, when it comes to food, I just can't have bad food in my house. It's just, I don't have cookies in my house. I don't have cupcakes in my house. If I get a treat, I will buy a cookie from the store. I will buy a cupcake. I can't buy a whole package of Oreos because they'll be gone in 2 days. That's just going to happen. So
Nicole and I, get into it about this because I can have a box of chocolate bars, let's say, which I don't buy boxes of chocolate bars. I'll just put that out there. But
if you do, I'm coming over.
I can have a box of chocolate bars in the cupboard and probably eat one a week, except for maybe PMS week, which I'm currently in right now. But Nicole is like, you can't bring that home. You can't do that, Carol, because I will eat it all. So she's on the team of just cannot have it in the house, cannot do it at all. And I'm in the team of like, okay, but I just want it once in a blue moon. I want to know it's there if I want it,
I go back and forth. I mean, yeah. Brooke is a no junk food in the house because she'll eat it automatically. And so that's kind of, I've gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, I don't need it around. Yeah. But I mean, I have a bag full of candy right here, Casey's birthday candy. And it's been here and I won't touch it because it's my daughter's, but there's like 3 of my favorite candies. Okay, I won't touch it because she's 7 and she'll remember and be like, Mom, I know that I had a Snickers and I had a Sour Patch Kid and I had a Twix.
She'll be in therapy about it later in life. My mom eats my candy. That box of cookies that I rained over my head at the beginning of the show, that has been in the cupboard because Nicole doesn't like them. That has been in the cupboard for probably 6 months, 7 months.
My theory in life is don't have anything that will last 6 months or 7 months.
That's true. That's true. Although my baby has started baking. She enjoys baking lately, and that is not helping us. But at least she uses whole wheat flour. So I think we're trying to do something right. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. If you're watching, which you should be, type to us. Let us know what works for you when you're trying to quit a bad habit. What kind of bad habits you have, and if you were successful quitting them, then what worked for you. And I also want to just tell everybody that next week we are going to be talking all about traveling, and not only as a parent, but also as an LGBTQPIA, I think I covered everything, person, because you have to be careful in some of these different countries and regions that you go to, and also different places that are kid friendly, other than everyone knows Disneyland is kid friendly, but other than that, that's what we're going to be quacking about next week. It was a great show. I loved quacking with you girls. I love quacking with everybody out there. Follow us on Facebook, so make sure you subscribe. If you're watching this right now, hit the red button. Help us get up to 1,000 subscribers. We're well on our way.
Then we can start giving you free stuff.
Exactly. We can start giving you free stuff. So thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you next week. My daughter's obviously starting to lose it. Thanks for tuning in. And remember, there is always something to quack about. We'll see you next week, everybody.
Bye.